Bike taxi operator dies following Negril crash. The Negril Traffic Department in Westmoreland is investigating the death of a 49-year-old bike taxi operator who died following a traffic crash on Tuesday. The deceased has been identified as Errol Vassell of Big Bridge in the parish. Reports are that about 7:30 a.m., Vassell was driving along the Norman Manor Boulevard in Negril and allegedly made a right turn and was hit by a Toyota Corolla motor vehicle. He was transported to the Savannah Mar Hospital, where he was pronounced dead. Police Commissioner Dr. Kevin Blake states it's illegal for officers to compel citizens to provide passwords to cellular phones. Police Commissioner Dr. Kevin Blake says it is illegal for members of the security forces to compel citizens to provide the passwords to their cellular phones, especially during traffic stops. Dr. Blake was addressing the matter during a post-cabinet press briefing. He said he is aware of the complaints by members of the public and has instructed officers to desist from doing so. He maintained that a court order is needed to access the password for a citizen's phone. Meanwhile, the commissioner says lawmen have been instructed to desist from ticketing motorists whose vehicles were manufactured with daytime running lights.
Let me first say there's a process. And the process certainly is not coercing someone on that scene to give up their password. There's a process, and it is a court order has to be made. And so it is not right. It's not legal. Let me just say that clear. And we have since communicated to our members when that came to our attention that has been a practice. We have also communicated regarding the ticketing of running lights. Okay, if you look at the strict literature of the law itself, it allows certain things to happen, except the fact that these are lights that came with the vehicle and not necessarily placed on the vehicle. And so there's a little gray area there. And so what we have done, we have sent out communication to our members to desist from doing that. Desist from doing that is something that we need to look at in the legislation itself. But for the time being, we have instructed our members not to continue that practice. It's unfair to the motorists.
New deadline for Montego Bay Mayor to provide explanation on political poster removal. Montego Bay Mayor Richard Vernon will have until May 14 to provide an explanation on the reported destruction of election paraphernalia erected by members of the People's National Party in and around the city. The Office of the Political Ombudsman said an extension has been granted to Vernon following an April 25th request for a response in relation to the alleged breach of the Code of Political Conduct. Vernon, a Jamaica Labour Party representative, was responded in writing explaining the removals by May 6. The Ombudsman Office indicated that his attorney had on May 5th written to them requesting an extension of the deadline to May 14, 2025, citing the matter being before the court and scheduled for hearing on May 6. The Office of the Political Ombudsman considered the request and permitted the deadline to be moved to May 14. Vernon has been at odds with several candidates from the People's National Party over the removal of campaign material. Labour Ministry's main building to be named in honor of Portia Simpson Miller. The main building at the Ministry of Labour and Social Security on North Street in downtown Kingston is to be named the Portia Simpson Miller Building in honor of the former Prime Minister of Jamaica. The announcement was made by Minister of Culture, Gender, Entertainment and Sport, Oliver Grange, while addressing House of Representatives on Tuesday on the celebration of Workers' Week and Labor Day. She also announced that the National Insurance Building at National Hero Circle will be named the Lyndon Gladstone Newland Building. She said both acts are a recognition of their outstanding contribution to the movement for the rights and proper working conditions of Jamaican workers. Simpson Miller, who is former Labour Minister, is held as one of the change bearers of Jamaica's labour industry, improving negotiations with workers, conditions for workers, and advancing the increase of the minimum wage through supportive legislation. She also oversaw the expansion of the Overseas Work Programme, as well as the establishment of a labour chair at the University of the West Indies. Meanwhile, Newland has been described as a Jamaican legend and pioneer in the field of labour and social security. His legacy includes co-founding the Jamaica Labour Party and serving as Minister of Labour and National Insurance from 1962 and 1972, where he introduced the National Insurance Scheme.
We have had leaders like the Right Excellent Sir Alexander Bustamante, the Right Excellent Norman Manley, Aggie Bernard, St. William Grant, the Most Honorable Edward Seaga, the Most Honorable Michael Manley, Lyndon Newland, and a host of other politicians and trade unionists in the likes of former Prime Minister, the Most Honorable Hugh Lawson Shearer, and the former Prime Minister, the Most Honorable Portia Simpson Miller. I particularly mention these latter because of a special part of the celebration of Workers' Week 2025. We have decided that the National Insurance Building at National Hero Circle will be named the Lyndon Gladstone Newland Building, and that the main building at the Ministry of Labor and Social Security at 1F North Street will be named the Portia Simpson Miller Building. Both acts are in recognition of their outstanding contribution to the movement for the rights and proper working conditions of Jamaican workers. So, Mr. Speaker, our overall objective is to promote environmental awareness, encourage community involvement, and inspire Jamaicans to act in protecting their environment. Throughout, our people will be encouraged to adopt sustainable practices in their daily lives through a conscious effort to keep their environment clean. The aim, ultimately, is to remind our people that protecting our natural resources and environment not only sustain Jamaica's natural beauty, but also, and very significantly, contributes to public health and safety.
PM urges parents to play an active role in children's literacy development. Parents are being charged to play an active role in their children's literacy development. Prime Minister Andrew Holness made the call while addressing Read Across Jamaica Day activities at Seaward Primary and Infant School in St. Andrew on May 6. The development of the literacy skill is not only the responsibility of the teacher, who oftentimes is the person on whom the burden is placed, he noted. Literacy really begins at home with the parents. It is the parents transmitting the importance of assessing and gaining knowledge, developing this curiosity in their children, and encouraging the curiosity for knowledge, and then putting in place all the mechanism necessary for the child to develop this important skill of reading, he pointed out. The Prime Minister urged that having strong literacy skills, including media literacy, enables children to critically engage with information and make informed choices. He said parents and school must ensure that our Jamaicans are media literate and are able to manage and maneuver this very complex role of information that is being thrown at us through our screens, television, and radio so that we can make sense of the information that is there. This is not a time for us to shut out or withdraw from this ever-changing world. This is not the time that we must develop the skills so that we can embrace technology, he emphasized. Read Across Jamaica Day aims to encourage students to develop a healthy habit for reading. The Prime Minister noted that literacy is important for the development of any society, adding that it is a process by which young ones develop the skills to access knowledge. During his visit at Seaward Primary and Infant School, Holness engaged with students and read 2 books, I Am a Promise by Shelley and Fraser, and Teddy and the Plastic Bottle, published by the Ministry of Economic Growth and Job Creation. He also officially opened the institution's technology room. KFTL extends gate operations this week to help those impacted by strike. Truckers resume regular operations after meeting. Kingston Freeport Terminal Limited, KFTL, says it will extend its operations this week to cater to customers who might have been impacted by the strike yesterday morning. Truckers who operate at the port withdrew their service to protest the slow pace of processing at the facility. Speaking with reporters, KFTL's Public Relations Manager, Trudy Bell Navis, said the gate remained open until 5:30. A gate extension will also be implemented today from 4:30 to 5:30 p.m. On Friday, the extension will be from 4 p.m. to 5 p.m. and from 7 a.m. to 12 p.m. on Saturday. She explained that these special arrangements aim to facilitate smoother logistic operations and help stakeholders meet their service delivery commitments. Meanwhile, Ms. Bell Nevis noted that discussions were held with the Port Authority of Jamaica independent truckers, port trailers, haulage association, Jamaica Customs Agency, and KFTL following the disruption. She said after the meeting, the truckers agreed to resume regular operations. Man remanded, co-accused granted bail following brawl outside Kingston Court. One man was remanded in custody, while another was granted bail in the sum of $150,000 for disorderly conduct following an alleged brawl outside the Kingston and St. Andrew Parish Courts on Tuesday. The accused, Abantu Zulu and Davian Mendez, were subsequently arrested and charged with disorderly conduct. A third person, no one, was reportedly involved but fled the scene and evaded arrest. Zulu, who identified himself as a member of the Rastafarian community, challenged courtroom protocols, objecting to being addressed as Mr., which he described as a British title. Not Mr. Your Honor, Abantu Zulu, he insisted. My Honor, I request you refer to me with some documents placed on public record prior to this appearance, clarifying my status as not being Mr. or subject to any British prefix or anything of that sort. Parish Judge Sachet Burrell declined the request, stating that the court operates within Commonwealth legal system. You are in a court that is part of the Commonwealth legal system, and those are the rules that apply here, she said. Please forgive me if I'm not following those rules, and please forgive me if I think and insist that dignity and respect for the people who come here is important and must be demonstrated. When asked to enter a plea deal, Zulu refused to say guilty or not guilty, instead asserted his innocence. I am innocent until proven guilty, he stated. There is no proof that I committed a crime. To subscribe, like, share, and click the notification bell for daily updates.